if anything weird is happening, if any one of us is scared, we're going. I really wanted to be at home, but I'm not like fully anti-hospital or anything like that, which is another like big thing in the home birth community. I'm like, okay, well, that's not my vibe. Maybe in my next one, maybe I'll feel that way. Maybe I'll be another level up, but I'm not there yet.
Hi, team. Welcome back to another episode of The Wellness Effect. We are super excited for this week's episode. And I know we say that every time, but this time we really actually mean it because we have a special little story to share from a special little girl and
It's
her
me.
special little new boy. So Kira's joining us for the first time. It really hasn't been that long. I
Yeah.
think me and Jensen have recorded one episode without
One
you.
episode.
But it feels like lifetimes, and she's also not on any of our work calls or anything, so we miss you. I was literally thinking today, like yesterday, though, I was like, I gotta start adding Kira into my FaceTime rotation now because I never get to see her anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, I haven't even
Yeah.
FaceTime you. But Kira's gonna tell her birth story of our little addition to the Lifestyle You crew, and so we're so excited.
Yeah.
So excited.
And we're just gonna kind
Can't
of get right
wait.
into it because honestly, compared to this story, mine and Jensen's lives just aren't that important. Not important,
Or
exciting.
exciting.
Our lives are always
Important.
important. But I don't really know, like, where should we start? Maybe we'll just start. How you feeling, Kier? How you doing?
Yeah.
How's
Oh, yeah.
postpartum
I
been?
guess it is officially 2 weeks today. He's 2 weeks old. I should have had him for a little intro, but him and Brett are having a little nap on the couch right now. I feel pretty good. He's actually sleeping really well and eating really well, which is like kind of the big struggle with Ellie in the beginning is the sleeping and the eating were shit, and that just really fucks with everything else, to be honest. So I'm like, wow, this is like already a night and day experience, which has been really cool. Um, yeah, I've been trying to just like really, really take it easy. Just like I'm just sore. It's hard to like lay down in bed. We were talking about this the other day. We were texting, and it's like just have to just lay down. Like I feel good. My body's good, except for my vagina. But like to have to just like lay in bed all day, like it's hard, but you really do need that rest and that like replenishment and stuff. Like the recuperation is so important and to like let people help you, but it's so, so hard because it's like such a long time. And even the other day, I'm like, I'm good to go to the grocery store. Like this was 2 days ago. I'm like 12 days postpartum, walked in and around and out of the grocery store, and it was too much. Like I could just tell I was
Really?
really sore after. My bleeding kind of picked up a little bit, and I'm like, okay, not
Were
ready
you
for
like that
that.
with
But
Ellie? Or did you
yes, I
push through
remember.
quicker?
No, I remember on day 10, I did like my little quick 15-minute walk loop that I do. And when I got to the halfway point, I was like, oh no, this was
Yeah.
not a good
And I wonder
idea,
if
but I was
this,
like too far.
yeah, and I wonder if even with like Jake in this one, well, we'll get into like what happened and everything like that, but just because of how everything happened, I wonder if that's maybe keeping you a little bit sore too. But it sounds like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
normal.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a
I
lot.
don't wanna, like, give it away, so I don't wanna say it, but we'll get
Yeah,
into
you
it.
guys have to keep
Um,
listening.
Yeah.
okay, so I just want to start off by really like big disclaimer. This is my feelings, my thoughts, my experience, my intention. This is not my me giving anyone advice on what to do for their own birth. Like I think what's most important is like doing what you want to do. And in order to kind of get to this place where I knew what I wanted, I had a very long, drawn out, intense experience between Ellie and this baby, and I just really learned through all of that that like following your intuition and actually listening to, for me it was like the universe and my body kept showing me over and over and over that I don't get to like ignore my heart anymore and like what it wants. Like I don't get to just be like, "Oh, I'll just like do this because it's what everybody does," and I'm afraid of not doing what everybody does. It was just very clear to me through all of that that I have to like listen to those little twinges and then do them. So that is the reason that I kind of had the pregnancy and birth experience that I had, but I think what's at the end of the day, what's the most important is what actually makes you feel comfortable and safe. That is what matters. So do that. Don't do what I did or do it, whatever. But I just want to really put that out there. So
Well, and I think just even how
Yeah.
much intention and thought and work that you
Yes.
put into this, it wasn't just like, "Oh, and I'm gonna do this, and it's go," you know what I mean? It was, like,
Mhm.
years of preparation and work and energy work, like, you did all of it, and so it wasn't something that you kind of just coasted into, so it's like, yeah, if people want this, that's great, but it also came with a lot of
Wasn't
intentional work.
willy-nilly.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
not willy-nilly.
Yes. Yes, and it's not like you have to, like, prepare your body in this perfect weird way for birth, like, I think our bodies intentional or, like, our bodies inherently know what to do, which is really cool. However, I had a lot of blocks in my body, so you have to be able to listen to your body in order to have that experience, if that makes sense. So for me, it was more about that. It was more like all the body work and that stuff that I did. It wasn't about like, oh, this is what everyone needs to prepare for birth. It was like, no, that's what I needed to like get my walls down and actually be able to listen to my body. So yeah, it was yeah.
I think about,
What were you gonna say, Jim?
like, the last 4 or, like, whatever, this, like, 2 years really is when I've been, like, seeing you go through all this stuff, and, like, I've been thinking about it a lot and just how intentional you were with seriously everything from the, like, mental work to the light, like, environment to the parasite cleanses to seriously everything, and I know you said there's, like, mental blocks that you had to work through, but it was, like, a perfect example, like, if you put your mind to it, and obviously, it doesn't always happen, but there's so many things that can come from that, both whether it's, like, a pregnancy and birth or all of the other things you got from it, so it's just, like, I've been reflecting a lot on that lately and just how intentional you were and just, like, seeing that, it was cool.
Yeah, and it's funny because like, quite a few people have said that to me lately, and I can feel myself just like, "Meow." I'm like, "Mm-mm,
No.
no, no, I didn't." So I think I know that I really need to, like, go down that road, and even I was just talking to someone the other day, and they're like, "How do you feel about yourself, like, after that experience?" And I was like I just, like, looked away. I was like, "I haven't really thought about it." Like, I'm trying to kinda downplay it almost. So I definitely need to take some time to go down that road a little bit and just be like, yeah, that's fucking it was literally like and it wasn't like my life was consumed by like getting pregnant for 4 years. It was a huge thing, especially with like that many losses and that many cycles of tracking with no pregnancy. Like it was just so much for so freaking long of like maybe this is the supplement that will get me pregnant or maybe this is the test that will and it never was. It was that was never the answer, but it's like, yeah, it brought so much, and I actually have been working on, like, a Instagram post that is just taking me so long, but it's, like, the ripples of my healing journey that I, like, did not expect and did not anticipate, and, like, it's just been so big and powerful, and now to just be, like, here with a baby, I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
You're like, "What now?"
Now what? Wait,
Who
who
a
am I?
Seriously, I'm like, "Who am I? What is my life?
But it
Holy
is
shit."
true because I was even thinking about that. Did we ever talk about your mother way on here? I think we did.
Yeah, a little bit, I
Yeah.
think.
So, Kira had, like, a I don't wanna call it, like, a baby shower, but something cool. It was a mother way. Anyways, I don't wanna,
Yeah.
like, get into that too much, but I had to, like, write a little note for her because I couldn't be there for it, and when I was writing that note, I was honestly just thinking about, like, how much you have changed in the last 4 years and, like, who you had to become so that
Mhm.
Jake would be like, "Okay, that's my mom, and I'm ready, and she's ready for me now, and this is all gonna be perfect," and I just, like, love having that belief that our kids do, like, pick us as parents based on the
Mhm.
lessons that they need to learn in this lifetime, and so it just is, like, so cool to see, like, how much you had to change to become this new level of yourself so that he was like, "Okay, she," not like she's good enough now, but, like, in a sense that's
Yeah.
who he needs this
She's
version of
ready.
you, and it's just, like,
Mhm.
wild to think about.
Yeah.
Not even just, like, your journey and your health and how healthy you've been, but, like, everything and, like, how much your career changed and, like, yeah, it's just, like,
Yeah.
insane to reflect on that.
Oh, it's, like, actually crazy to be like, look at the person I was when I was pregnant with Ellie and the person I am now, and I'm just like, "Holy shit." And that this home birth story that I'm about to tell you guys seemed so simple and so easy, and I'm just like, maybe that's why I'm, like, struggling because I thought it was gonna be this, like, fucking crazy, insane event, and then it was just like, "Oh." he's born. Hmm.
So I think
Oh,
you should
women have been doing this for hundreds of years? Wow, you don't say.
But I think you should kinda start, because I don't know if we ever talked about just, like, kinda what was happening with him, like, a month prior to you giving birth, and you were kinda worried about his positioning and stuff like that. Like, I think starting
Yes.
there, because that's kinda when in me, I seen it in you for the first time where you're, like, questioning it a little bit and, like, getting in
Yeah.
your head a little bit. So I think that's, like,
Yeah,
a
that's true. And like I didn't really do much for like testing and doctor stuff through my pregnancy. Again, that was my choice. I have a lot of reasons for that. And maybe one day I'll get deeper into that. But I did have placement scans early on. And that's because I have a history of ectopic pregnancy. So I'm going to be ruling out ectopic with any pregnancy I have going forward. I also, too, have noticed like I start following, like, the odd home birth page on Instagram, and then I'm getting the most intense home birth things on my feed, and it's like, I'm gonna say this probably a million times, but, like, you deciding some people will say, like, "It's bad to get any ultrasounds, and you should never get any ultrasounds," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I had an ectopic pregnancy, and the peace of mind that it gives me to know that I'm not having another ectopic pregnancy is worth it for me to have a couple ultrasounds." But some people are like so against it. So for me, that's what I was doing. Again, I felt comfortable with it. And then I felt fine after that. I didn't want to get any more testing after that kind of point. So
what
I
week
didn't
was that,
know
that you got
what's
your,
that.
like, last scan?
I think I did the 12-week um, placement is early. It's like 6 weeks. And then I did the 12-week scan. And I'm just like, honestly, a huge part of it is it's like going to the doctor is so annoying to me. It's like waiting in the waiting room so long, and they're all falling behind, and you're like, wait, like it just, and then every time they're like, yeah, everything's fine. I'm like, cool, thanks. I knew that. So anyway, that's me being annoying. But so yeah, I felt really confident my whole pregnancy that I just didn't like everything was good. I'm a very healthy person. I'm watching my own labs for the last 4 fucking years. Like I know what's going on with my body. So we were getting to the end. I think when I was like 34 or 35 weeks, I was like, I'm having a hard time telling like where his head is and where his butt is, or the baby. I didn't know it was a boy at that point. And I started to really, really get in my head and like panic that it was breech or something called transverse, which is where it's literally sideways. And I was just like, oh my God, oh my God. So then I started doing, and I honestly think this was like, when I look back on it, it was almost like a little pull from my body or my mind to get me not to like ruminate on other things or like stress about other things. It was just all about position, position, position. And I was doing all of these moves. I was going to the chiropractor like 3 days a week to get my like body adjusted. I was getting I was going to an osteopath, getting massages. Like I was doing so much in order to have him be in the right position, and I'll, like, talk a little bit more about what position he was in at the end, but he was in totally a fine position, and basically what I've been kind of learning and talking about with a few people is that he was probably just, like, grinding into my cervix for, like, 4 full weeks while I was doing all these crazy moves, and I ended up being, like, quite swollen. Um, and it's probably because he was, like, in a totally fine position, and I was just, like, panicking and doing all these crazy things. So anyway, um, but it was interesting how much it, like, kept me in that headspace. Like, it was the only thing I could really focus on, and, like, I had a body work or a body talk session, and she's like, "It just keeps coming up that you need to do less. Just do less. Just do less." And I'm like, took that as, like, do less, like, housework, but, like, do more stretching. Um, so yeah, the last kind of month I did get a little in my head for sure, and I was like, should I try to like reach out and like go for a emergency ultrasound and see, like, am I gonna need a C-section? Like, is this whole thing about to blow up in my face? Like, did I make the worst decision ever? But I just like really tried to tune in to whether it was like fear talking or like my true intuition. I'm like, I have spent these past 4 years honing this skill, and I need to now actually lean on it and believe in myself. And I'm like, and this is going to be the fruits of this when I'm right, is that level of like trust I have for myself will be even bigger because when I would really sit with it and, like, meditate on it, I knew everything was gonna be fine. But when I would let, like, the fear kinda take over, it was when I would, like, spiral, which we can all relate to for sure. Um, so yeah, I remember leading up, I started, like, talking about this on my Instagram that I was having something called prodromal labor, and it's basically, like, I would wake up in the middle of the night usually, or it would be right around supper time, and I was like, "Oh, it's just because 'cause I'm, like, cooking, and I shouldn't be standing up for, like, an hour and a half and, like, cooking supper or whatever," and I would, like, be sitting in the kitchen, like, fully having, like, 4 out of 10 pain level contractions for, like, an hour, and then they would just stop. And I'm like, "Okay, this is fucking crazy, like, what is this?" And a few people told me they had it, and it turns out it can kinda be a positioning thing. If the baby is in, like, a not optimal position, your body will kinda start trying to, which is so cool. Your uterus will, like, contract and try to move it into the right position, and then you get left alone for a couple days. So, that was the night before he was born. So, like, October 28th, went to bed. Brett slept with Ellie. I was like, "I need a good sleep tonight. I'm so freaking tired." But I was awake from 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. having that prodromal labor so that I started, like, tracking the contractions on my phone. I was like, "These are close together. Like, what's going on here?" But then I eventually ended up just falling asleep and they completely stopped around 4 in the morning. My aura ring said I, like, fell back asleep. So I was like, "Okay, that was great." Oh, I thought Jeb was gonna say something. She had, like, a look at her eye. Um, yeah, so woke up in the morning, I was like, "Whew, that was tough." Like, I think I almost went and woke up Brett to be like, "I'm in freaking labor, I need help." So then the next day, I, like, really took it easy. I had a massage already booked. I, like, took a nap. That was, like, that one story that I posted where Brett was, like, going through my toques or something. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was so funny, like, turns on the light and he's like, "Oh!" Just gets so scared.
Sorry, sorry.
'Cause he knows I'm gonna be like, "Turn the light off." Yeah, and then I had my massage, and she's, like, my really intense hippie Reiki massage practitioner, and she was like, "This baby's not ready to come yet, like, keep cooking." I was exactly 39 weeks. She's like, "Keep cooking, little baby, like, we're not ready for you yet. You have a little bit more time." And I was like, "Okay, I have a week, like, that's great." So then, that my massage was 1:45 to 2:45. Ellie has dance at 3:45, so I leave my massage, go pick her up at daycare, and it's about, like, 3 o'clock by the time I get there. I go in, grab her, I have her dance bag with me, and go into, like, the staff washroom to get her changed into her, like, dance uniform, and it takes some time. She's a finicky dresser, so I'm, like, literally I sit on the floor of the bathroom and start, like, getting her dressed, and I'm like, "She's done, she's got everything on, we just gotta get her shoes on." I put one on, put the other one on, and I felt like 3 sensations that I don't think I'll ever be able to explain in my life. The first was my mucus plug shooting out of me, and
No way.
it was just like a I don't know what to call the sensation. It was almost like a flicking feeling. Didn't hurt, but it literally just, like,
Okay, so, I don't know what a mucus plug is. Is that in common sense?
so
No.
when
I first heard about it on a podcast because the girl is obsessed with losing her mucus plug.
well,
I
and,
don't know
like, with
what it
Ellie,
is.
I never did, so it's basically, like, because your cervix is where your, like, period comes through and where the baby comes through, so when you're pregnant, it, like, gets plugged with, like, a mucus plug, so the baby doesn't, like, nothing can fall out.
Oh.
Not, like, fall out, but, like, it's what kinda holds your placenta
Stuff in
and
there.
your water and the baby inside, and then did you guys know that when your baby is ready to be born and its lungs are developed enough to come out and be in the world, its lungs actually release an enzyme, and that's what starts the process of labor, is, like, your baby's lungs are like, "I'm ready," and this, like,
Whoa, that
Oh
gave
my
me
gosh,
thing
that's
goosebumps.
crazy.
isn't that cool? I think that's so cool. So, it was like a quick little yeah, like, what could I even, like it was almost like a pimple popping, like my
That's what I was
mucus
gonna say. That's what I'm
yeah,
imagining it
like, it was
as.
like like, just a good zit, but it was in my cervix, and it, like, shut I felt it, I was like, "Oh, oh," and, like, immediately then felt my water, like, snap. Literally, it was like 3 quick things, and then I felt just a gush, a huge gush of water. Like, I'm talking a bucket of water, and I
No.
was like yes,
Like, what kind of bucket?
How big of a bucket?
like a big bucket, like a bucket, and I'm just like,
What?
oh my god, Ellie, 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 Ellie," like, I'm, like, talking to Ellie like she's my friend, my
She's
best
gonna
friend or
help
something.
you.
"Ellie, Ellie, we gotta get out of here, my water just broke," and she's like, "Is the baby coming?" I'm like, "Yes, the baby is coming. We gotta get out of here." And I was wearing, like, a light green yoga pant, so, like and it was completely like, my butt was fully soaked, and then my all the way down to the floor, like, my legs were soaked. Like, it was so much fluid, and then we, like, get to the door to leave daycare. I don't know if I'm sorry, any daycare ladies, if you saw any driblets.
Stop. You didn't stay and clean it up. Oh my god.
I friggin' ran out of there so fast, I still haven't been back. So we get to the door, and it's, like, the first snowstorm of the season also, so it's
No.
snowing outside. Ellie's in her ballet shoes, and I'm like, "I'm gonna have to fucking pick her up. Like, I'm gonna have to pick her up." So I pick her up, and it was just like, "Woo," like another huge gush of water when I picked her up. I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." Ellie and Ellie is just, like, so happy and excited. She's like, "The baby, the baby." It was so cute. Put her in the car. I had, like, a big bag of clothes to give to our other sister, Marina, for her daughter, so I, like, dump it out, put the garbage bag onto my seat, and then, like, sit on the garbage bag.
That's
I'm
smart.
like, phone Brett. I'm like, "My water just broke. Ellie's got dance in 10 minutes. Like, what do we do?" He's like, "Just come home, like, she doesn't have to go to dance." I was like, "Okay." But then I got off the phone with Brett, and Ellie's like, "I really wanna go to dance." I'm like,
Oh.
"Okay, well, it's only half an hour, like, whatever." So then I call Brett back. I'm like, "Why don't you come meet me at the dance studio, take her in, and then once she's in there, we can come switch the car seat. I'll go home, you stay with her." He's like, "Okay." So he meets me there, and we do the little switch. And I get home and I literally, like, lifted the garbage bag out and there was, like, a pool, like, a more liquid. It's just, like, coming and coming and coming.
Does
I
that
should
usually
look
happen?
I think it's really rare to have,
Like a full
th
water.
like, your water and that was part of me, like, just grinding his head into my cervix for a month
No.
and a half, like, just, like, "Get in the right position," and she's like, "I am.
He's like, "I'm here."
I'm here, mom. Can we take a break?" Um So that
Uh,
was crazy because, like, with Ellie, I think it's what they never told me, but from other people I've talked to, it's called a hind break where your water actually breaks at the top and then it's more of a trickle, but mine was, like, right there, so it was literally, like, right out of the movies, like, you see and you're like, "That would never happen." That's what it was. It was just like anyway, I
And
don't
of
know if
course,
I'll
it was, like,
ever
when you left your house, like
yeah, and, like, what if I had just been half an hour later and I got up to dance class and I was just, like, sitting in the waiting room at dance class?
yeah, like,
Or, like,
what
what
are
if
the chances you were in the bathroom?
thank fucking God, and, like
Imagine
or
you're on
even,
the
like, a half an
massage table, like, that would have
yeah,
been
Yeah,
half an
the
hour earlier, and
mucus
I'm just
plug
laying
comes
there
out.
all over her, like, nice heating pad and her crystals, like, ruined. Oh my
that's
god.
probably good
Okay,
juju
so
for her, I bet.
Yeah.
yeah, I actually texted her, like, 2 days later. I was like, "Guess who was born, like, 7 hours after" oh, just gave it away. Okay. So, with Ellie, when my water broke, I didn't have contractions at all. I never did. I got induced after 24 hours of no contractions, so at this point, I'm still like, "We're having this baby tomorrow, maybe the next day." I'm just, like, not thinking much of it, so I'm like, "I'm gonna go home and have a shower." For some reason, I really wanted to, like, blow dry my hair, like, wash my hair and blow dry it. I don't know who I think I like, why that was on my mind,
Gotta be ready for the paparazzi.
but,
Yeah.
like, I am actually so glad I did it. My hair looked so good for, like, a whole week after I had him. My mom comes over, she's like, "You look great." I'm like, "Thanks." Like, my hair's just down and a full blowout. But actually, yeah, that morning I had put, like, I do chicken breasts in the slow cooker with just, like, a jar of salsa, a thing of cream cheese, and some taco seasoning.
Oh my gosh, I need
So
to do
good.
that
It's
with
so
my
good, and then you put what?
slow cooker I stole from Lacey.
I know.
Anyways,
Nice.
keep going.
She's like, "I'm gonna need that back."
Yeah, I know.
Well, we give away so much shit, it's just like
Oh,
It's fine.
no.
The worst is the moose
Sorry.
meat. Zach gave away a bunch of our meat.
No.
Anyways, yeah. So
Okay.
keep the slow
Okay.
cooker.
So I go home, have a shower, blow dry my hair. I'm like talking to my doula on the phone a little bit, and she's like, "Yeah, like we got time, we got time." I did have a doula. They're not like a medical person. They aren't there to like resuscitate the baby or like deliver the baby. But
Would you
yeah,
say
we're
it's
not.
more like doulas are more mental support than anything, like in the
Yeah.
hospital, out of the hospital?
Yes. Honestly, it's like mindset,
They're more
body,
there for
mind,
you.
soul. They're for the mother. That's what I always say is they're like there to support the mother through pregnancy and birth and after. So yeah, I'm kind of just like talking to her like my water broke. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go home and have a shower. She's like, yeah, have a shower, have a snack, and go take a nap. I was like, what? Okay, for sure.
My dream date, cute.
Yeah, like sounds good. So we just kind of eat supper, like nothing's happening. It's like 5 o'clock. Around 5:15, I was like, ooh, small contraction. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. Like only 2 hours later, and I'm like starting to have like mild contractions. I had to call my mom to go get like Depends from the store because my water was just every time I stood up, it was like a full pee came out. I'm like, okay, I need diapers. Like this is getting out of control. The amount of liquid coming out of me. And the contractions are really sporadic. So they're like 3 minutes, 7 minutes, 12 minutes, 4 minutes, 8 minutes. Like they're all over the place. They're not like getting regular and close together. They're just whatever, sporadic.
And
And that
how
can
like how often are they happening?
like
Like I
all over, like three
Oh, okay.
minutes. And then, yeah, like I would hit my little timer. Okay, every time a contraction started, and then it's like an app, like contraction timer, and it will tell you like how long your contractions are and how far apart they are. So yeah, they were like 7 minutes apart, and then some were 15 minutes, and then it would be like three
Oh.
minutes, and then it was just really sporadic and not like I was talking to Lacey on the phone. We were FaceTiming at one point. I was like, "Oh, I'm having a contraction." She's like, "What?
Yeah, like, it was
What
so
the
like,
heck?"
"Oh, oh, a
Ooh.
contraction," and I'm like,
It
"Are
was
you
like
okay?"
mild period cramps, but that's how it starts. And then
And just, like, what's your mindset like at this point? Like, that's what I just always think of, like, are you,
mhm.
like I mean, I guess you've already had a kid at that point, but it's like, are you just, like, scared of, like, that you're about to push a child out of like, I just, like, can't wrap my head around how I would
Same.
feel
Yeah,
in that moment.
and,
Or
like,
are you just, like, wanting it to be over and you're, like, excited that it's finally here at that point?
the last month of pregnancy is one of the most
Tough.
uncomfortable times. You're just, like, so exhausted, you're so much bigger than you like, my stomach got humong I was fucking huge. I got on a fender bender because I, like, couldn't pay attention when I was driving. You just get, like, stupid and tired and huge, and you're like I'm like, "I'm trying to be cool about this, but, like, get this motherfucking thing out of me." Like, you really the last month of pregnancy pushes you to the limit, to the point where you're like, "Get
So
it
you
out."
don't
Like,
feel
I'm
like
ready.
nerves of, like, anxiety or, like, you're not, like, nervous about the process at that point, you're just, like, ready for the baby to come.
And you know what's so weird is no, and neither time was I, like, not with Ellie either.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you're just
feel
like,
like
"Oh,"
people
Really?
aren't, but
Yeah.
which is so strange. Maybe some people are, like, if you I don't know what
yeah.
scenario, but yeah, I didn't and I'm, like, kinda someone who gets the, like, nervous anxiety, like, if I'm going to a party, I'm, like, nervous with all
Same.
my friends. So it's, like, kinda crazy that I don't
I wonder if
experience
it's
that.
just because 'cause you're, like, so in it too, like, I always say, like, when I'm in a wedding, I rarely cry, but when I'm, like, watching a wedding in the stands, I'm, like,
Ah,
bawling because it's almost like you have that adrenaline that's, like, taking over your emotional capacity.
Yeah.
Did that make
yes.
sense?
No,
So
that
I'm
made a lot of sense.
yeah,
I think
perfect.
that's
And
probably
I
exactly, like, what it is.
don't you also like isn't there like protective hormones that are being and like pheromones that are being released that like help you kind of like rationalize that as well? And
Yeah,
afterwards as well?
and I even said that to, like, my doula. I'm like, "I'm just nervous because I didn't really get much sleep last night." She's like, "The hormones will take over." Like, you could j people can be in a coma and fully give birth. Like, your body just does it. You don't yeah.
That's crazy. That would be ideal. I won't
Yeah.
manifest
Put
that
me in a
though, but
coma, please.
No, you guys, it's amazing.
Like, were you ever scared about giving birth before you gave birth? Like, I feel like that I'm like terrified of pushing a baby out of my vagina, like, that freaks me out. Like, did you ever have that feeling before?
Yeah, I think it's normal to feel like that, but it's what it actually is and what you think it is are nowhere fucking near the same thing. Like, it's
And you're
just,
probably your
Yeah.
human instincts also just, like, take and you're, like, back at your roots, and you're just like,
oh
"This
yeah,
is
just
what I'm
wait, just you
born to
wait,
be
just
doing."
you wait. And also, like, both of my deliveries were very fast. So I don't know if I had had like a 2-day labor with my first, I think I would have felt a little more
Different.
fear and anxiety because it's like, oh God, that's such a long time. So yeah, then me and I did talking with my doula when contractions are spaced apart like that, it can be a positioning thing. So it's like, this is your body really getting baby in that optimal position. Once it's in that position, sometimes labor will stop and your body will let you have the rest, which is fascinating. And sometimes it won't stop. So we're like, okay, we'll just see what happens. Like my labor with Ellie was so long. At this point, we're all just like, I'm nowhere near close to having this baby. Like 5:15. It's only been 2 hours and I haven't even really started real contractions yet. So I'm like, okay, cool.
It's
Marina
funny because
calls.
I don't think you've actually said that this is, like, your whole birth story, so I'm like so the plan is to have the child at home for
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
for those that didn't know
the
that.
hope is I did want to. Yeah, I guess I should have said that. I really wanted to be at home, but I'm not like fully anti hospital or anything like that, which is another like big thing in the home birth community. It's like you can never go to the hospital. And I'm like,
That's
okay, well,
insane.
that's not
I
my vibe. Maybe in
Yeah.
my next one, maybe I'll feel that way. Maybe I'll be another level up, but I'm not there yet. So it was like, if anything weird is happening, if any one of us is scared, we're going. Like, that's just, and we live literally 1 minute from the hospital. So I'm not even worried about like whatever. So talking to my sister, my other sister who lives here, she's like, well, why don't you just send Ellie over here for a sleepover? I'll come get her. Then at least she's here. And I was like, no, like, she's going to bed in like an hour. Like, there's no point in sending her over there. Like, maybe we'll call you to come get her tomorrow, whatever. Everyone's like, yeah, like, that doesn't make sense. So we're eating supper. I start doing this thing called the Miles Circuit, which I was also doing the whole last month of my pregnancy. And basically, you kind of almost sit, it's downward dog. No, it's cat cow, like on your hands and knees, but then you drop to your elbows so that your hips are elevated and you kind of support like your belly and your hips with pillows and you sit like that for half an hour and it kind of pulls the baby out of your pelvis and that gives it the space to like move if it needs to. So you do that for half an hour. Then you lay in this exaggerated side lying position for half an hour. So you lay with all these pillows and you're on your side and your leg is like draped over, and that gets the baby twisted and kind of in the right spot. And then you're supposed to like walk the stairs or curb walk where you put like one foot down, one foot up. So it's supposed to like kind of tilt things like kind of off or whatever. And that can like wedge the baby down in there. So I start doing that. And by the time I'm like an hour in, my contractions are much closer together and I can't like talk through them anymore. So I'm like starting to just like do the, I'm like, holy fuck. Brett, like these are getting kind of intense. So poor
What
Brett
does
is
it
now,
feel like?
it starts out like a period cramp. Like when it's like a 1 out of 10, it's a period cramp. And then it's like that period cramp just gets worse and 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 worse. And but it's so weird because then it just goes away. It's like 45 seconds of like, holy fuck, this is, I'm gonna die. And then you're like, huh, can somebody pass me that? Like you're just completely fine, which is actually so
That's
mind blowing that
so
it does
weird.
that. And then Brett's trying to put Ellie to bed. I'm like, I'm so sorry. We should have sent her. But I'm still thinking at this point, I'm like, this baby's not even coming today. Like, I'm just like, this is just early labor. And I didn't really experience the whole thing with Ellie, just the way it went. It was really shitty experience, honestly, having Ellie in the hospital and everything that went on. So I didn't have much to compare it to, but I've done a ton of research and like I know the stages of labor and what my body's doing. And like, so in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, moving along pretty quick. But the pain level isn't something that you can like write down or share. Like everyone's different, everyone's pain tolerance is different. and everyone just, like, has different feelings at different times of labor, so I'm just like, "Well, maybe this is, like, getting intense, but I don't know." But they do say, like, once you can't speak, like, you can't talk through the contractions anymore, that's, like, kinda moving into the next stage where the baby's, like, moving down and you're really starting to dilate. So I'm like, "Okay, I think things are kinda, like, happening." Another thing I was trying really hard was to just keep getting electrolytes in and keep peeing because what I had heard and read is that if your bladder just, like, gets too full and then the baby's in a weird spot and you can't pee, it can, like, stall labor, and a lot of people will then that's a reason that people do go to the hospital is and they don't have a birth at home, it's because their bladder just gets too full, so I, like, kept trying to pee, and the toilet is also known as the dilation station in, like, labor and delivery. So, I was like, "Okay, I haven't had my pee in a while, I'm gonna go." So at 6:30, I started that, like, circuit. 7:30, it was, like, too intense for me to do the, like, stair walking. I was like, "I can't do it." There may be, like, a 4 or 5 out of 10 for pain, and so I was just trying to, like I was walking around the kitchen island in circles and then just stopping when I would have a contraction and just, like, really trying to breathe. And then I think Brett got Ellie kinda into bed, but she wasn't asleep yet, and it was 8 o'clock. So this is now, like, an hour of, like, more intense contractions, and I'm like, "Whew, okay. I'm gonna take my pee now," and, like, basically, I sat on the toilet to pee, and it was just, like, things went from, like, 4 to an 8, literally in the 1 minute that I was peeing on the toilet. So I'm like, "Holy shit, holy shit." I'm like, "Brett,
Like, in
Brett."
terms of pain?
10.
Like, when you oh, yeah, so that's when it changed, was when you went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And is that probably because you emptied your bladder and now the baby's like, "I'm fucking ready to go," do you
Coming?
think? Or
Yeah,
just
like, why is
coincidence?
that?
I think it's, like, when you sit in that squat position, that's, like, ideal if your baby's in the right position, it's like, boom. So I had been standing up for so long that it kinda, like, keeps your body not
Right.
in the best it's like pooping, like, you're supposed to use a squatty potty and, like, like so as soon as I did that, it was just like, "Here he comes." So, I couldn't get off the toilet, I just, like, went onto my hands and knees onto the floor after that and basically didn't move. So this is about 8:15 on my hands and knees for about 20 minutes, like, like fully an animal, making sounds I didn't
Screaming.
and I was really nervous because I was like, "Am I gonna be able to make these sounds in front of Brett?" Like, sound is very important. Like, the vibrations relax your body. It also just lets you expel energy. It also keeps your jaw and your mouth open and relaxed, and it's very tied to, like, your cervix. So if your mouth and your jaw are open, then your cervix can also be open. They kind of, like, mirror each other energetically. So I knew but I was, like, really scared. I'm like, "I'm not gonna be able to make those sounds, like, I'm not that cool of a" and I was just fucking, like, giving her. It was amazing. It was so cool. Poor Brett is, like Ellie's not asleep yet. She's in bed, and I'm, like I can't even imagine the sounds that were coming out of my mouth. Like, we've all seen people giving birth, like, that's what I was doing. I'm like, "Brett!" screaming at him from upstairs. He's, like, running up the stairs. I'm like, "Oh," whatever. He would help me for a minute, then he'd run downstairs. I could hear him, "Ellie, please just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep." And then I'm like, "Brett!" So,
I just
at
like,
some
we should
point
have got Brett to come on the pod.
I know, I was
Yeah.
thinking that. He probably needs to, like, let some
Should
of
I
this
try
out.
Yeah.
Poor
He needs a
guy.
little bit of debrief, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
that's what I always was just thinking about. I'm like, I just like, because 'cause you've been in it for
Yeah.
so long and doing so much preparation, but he's kinda just been like, what's the plan, Kier? Like, what are we doing?" And so he's also not quite on that level at all. So I
But,
just
and honestly, I think it was kind of I know it was, like, intentional on my part because he's, like, such an overthinker and an overplanner, and I'm like, "We don't need to both be overthinking and overplanning this." I'm like, "You literally are just gonna be there. I
and
know
it's
what's
all just
going on."
instinct. Like, yeah,
And
you're
it was
gonna know what
fucking
to do.
crazy. And then I was scared because we had on our to-do list, like, I wrote on our to-do list, like, early labor plan, and I was gonna show him, like, where to push because there's a certain spot that you push on someone's hips. Like, if you've seen del videos of women in labor and their husband's, like, pushing on their hips, it's, like, a certain spot, and it actually helps a lot. He, like, did that instinctively. Like, I was just on my hands and
Weird.
knees, and he was just doing it and, like, rubbing my back. He's like, "I
Oh
don't know
my
what to
god,
do." I'm
that's
like,
gonna make me
"Literally, it's
cry.
perfect." Yeah. I was like, "Whatever you're doing." It's like it was crazy how much he, like, nailed it, and I just, like, knew that he would, I guess, so that was really cool. So then eventually Ellie falls asleep. Okay, it's just, like, me and Brett up there. Doula's on the way. She hasn't got there yet, which is so hilarious. So 8:15 was the toilet. Then I was on my hands and knees for the 20 minutes. My contractions were getting very, very intense, and this was the part that it was like, "Okay, like, I might be having this baby soon, actually." That's when it kinda kicked in for me, was like I could not get up off the floor. So even if, like, I had wanted to go to the hospital for this birth, I wouldn't have made it because I just was like, "No, I'm not there. My contractions haven't been." They say your contractions should be, like, 5 minutes apart for an hour, and, like, I got, like, 3 minutes of that. So it was just, like, everything was so sped up, but I think this was the part that was, like, really cool because I got to, like, really use a lot of the knowledge that I had and, like, feeling in my body, and I remember when I was having Ellie, and I just kept thinking, like, envisioning, like, all the energy going down and, like, my cervix they say you're supposed to look at it like a flower that just opens and opens and opens, like, as you labor. So I started just, like, repeating and chanting. I was just going, "Down, down, 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 down." And Brett's like, "Are you saying that to me or yourself?" I'm like, "I don't know, okay? It's just a word." And I've seen all these, like, birth stories, and the woman says something like, "Surrender," or, like, "Let it go," like, whatever, like, they say some beautiful word, and I'm just like, "Down, down, 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 down," like, repeating it over and over, and Brett's like, "Okay, whatever."
Did you have your labor playlist going at all throughout
Nope.
this? Oh.
Nope, I did not have a chance to do any of the cool stuff that I planned, to be totally honest. I was like, I had from my mother way, everyone's saying, like, "I'm here with you, Kira. You are strong." Like, it was a recording of, like, all my friends, my mom, my mother-in-law saying that. Didn't get to play that. Didn't get to light one of my fucking candles that I had. Like, I didn't get to literally do anything. Except for blow dry my hair.
Yeah, thank God.
So then I was just really focusing on that, like opening, opening, open, and it helped a lot. Like with every contraction, it was like maybe one or two that I try that you just want to like brace yourself for it so bad. It takes everything in you to like let your body use that contraction for what the intention of it is. Like you want to just like ow, ow, and like hold your breath. Like that's what you want to do, but you have to like. So I did that once or twice, and it's just like so much more intense and worse when you, like, brace against it, so I was, like, really trying to just get that baby down, get that baby down, get that baby down, so probably that was about 20 minutes, I think, like, full labor for, like, 20 minutes, and then I felt, like, another weird, like, almost like just like a whoosh or like a I think I was fully dilated and his head kinda came out of my cervix or something, 'cause I was like, "Oh, Brett, something just happened." And he was like, "What?" I'm like, "I don't know, like, something just changed inside my body. I don't know what it was." It was the craziest feeling ever, and then from there, my body completely took over, and, like, I've read about the fetal ejection reflex and how, like, you don't push, and, like, my body was pushing this baby out, like, all of a sudden, I was just it's like I don't know if I wanna make this noise on here, but I'm gonna do it. I was just, like, talking, and then all of a sudden it was like, like, I was literally just, like I couldn't not do that. It was so weird. I wasn't pushing at all, and it was just like, I'm like, "Brad, I'm pushing. Oh my god." He's like, "Okay, okay, okay." So it's just me and him there, and that was probably for about 10 minutes, and then the doula made it. It was, of course, the first snowstorm of the year, and she had to drive. So this was about 9:04 or
So,
something
like,
like that. I
set
had
that stage, like, does she knock on the door and, like, nobody goes and
she just
gets her?
blasts no, she just bla we're talking to her on the phone,
Oh.
and so she's like, "I'm here," and then I just hang up, and then she just comes in, runs upstairs, and she's like, "It's so funny because you guys are just, like, vibing in the red light," 'cause that's the only light we had on was, like, my red light. I'm like, "Well, yeah, obviously." And she, like, actually took a couple pictures, which she's editing and sending me this week, which I'm, like, terrified to see, but also really, really excited. And she just said, "Does this position sound good to you?" And I, like, kinda moved. I put my hand like, I was on all fours, and I just put my elbows up on the bathtub, so I was a little bit more upright. And, yeah, she got there at about 9:04. At about 9:10, his head came out. Well, no, I was like I could feel his head in there. I was like, "Okay, yeah, that's the head." And in my mind, I was like, "Oh, thank God." Like, it was the head and not like a
Wait, when you say you could feel his head in there, do you mean, like,
Mhm.
outside of your body or, like,
No.
could just
I
feel
went
a head
in.
in your vagina?
I put my hands in and felt the head. And then it
So
was just like, okay, like,
never
it's right there. It was like, what is happening? Like, I've basically been in labor for, like, an hour, it feels like. What? I was just like, "Oh." So,
That is crazy.
yeah, we're kinda just trying to figure out, like, logistics of how we're gonna, like, catch this baby. Wanted a warm cloth, like, on my perineum or whatever, like, between the butthole and the vagina, because it was like, it would just happen so fast, like, I didn't get a lot of time to let it stretch. He was just, like, fucking coming. So Brett put, like, a warm cloth right there as his head was coming out, and is this too much?
No.
No, it's not.
Okay, and then there is fear, right? Like, I knew I don't know, you just don't know. Anything can happen in birth, and, like, life and death coexist in this world, and that's just fact. And it's still scary. And, like, so when his head came out, I was like, "Oh my god, thank God it's his head." Like, whew, I don't have to and, like, breech births are fine, and they happen all the time and whatever. I'm confident that I would have navigated that as well, but it was just like, "Okay, whew, it is his head." I'm like, "Oh." And then he was just like, made, like, the tiniest little, like, sound. I was like, "Oh my god, like, it's alive. Like, he's here." I didn't know it was a boy yet. And then, yeah, Brett, like, got the cloth on his head, and then one more push, and he just, like, shot out, and with a big gush of liquid, and Brett caught him, which was amazing.
So cute.
It's crazy.
And then I was on my hands and knees, so I had to kinda, like, do this weird maneuver, flip over, and Brett, like, passed him through my legs kind of, and I still had my shirt on. I didn't have time to take my shirt off, so I just, like, ripped my shirt off, and he went, like, right on the boob and just, like, latched right away, started eating, and I was like, "Brett, did you see it's a boy?" And he's like, "No, oh my god," and we're just like,
Oh my god, that's
like, we were just
crazy.
looking at each other like,
What the fuck just happened?
"What the fuck just happened?" Like, "What the fuck just happened?" So,
Oh my
yeah, I
gosh.
think it was, like, 9:14 that he was born, so, like, not even 6 hours after my water broke, which is so fast. 4 hours after I, like, had my first small contraction, like, it was just so, so, so fast. But, yeah, it was I don't know, I feel like in that moment, I was just staring at Brett like, "What did we just do?" Like, "Oh my god." But then we, like, got
Like,
into
so much
bed.
adrenaline.
It was just so much adrenaline, but, like, also you just caught our baby, and, we just had it at home, and, like,
I
we're fucking
know,
amazing.
it's crazy. So cool.
So we, like, got tucked into bed. I had a cup of tea, he's just nursing. It was, like, an hour or so, and I knew that I was going to need stitches. It was just, like, I had a second-degree tear. So we did go to the hospital at that point. And actually, by the time we got to the hospital, my placenta still hadn't delivered yet, which they can kinda get a little nervous about and, like, freak out about at the hospital. It's like a th I don't even I guess if it doesn't detach from the side of your uterus properly, you can, like, hemorrhage. But I was just very, very swollen, number 1, because he came so fast, and number 2, probably because I was, like, ramming his head into my cervix for a month before he was born. So I was really, really swollen, like, I basically just, like, shut. So when I got there, they kinda just, like, pulled the placenta, like, blooped out, and then I got my stitches.
Does that, like, hurt at all, that part? Because I feel like I've heard
Yeah.
that that hurts a lot.
Getting stitches
No, like,
or the
having the
placenta?
placenta.
Oh, okay, so when I had Ellie, I got the epidural inappropriately right before she was born, and so I didn't, like, feel anything for, like, 10 hours after she was born, and I didn't really know. I was just like, "Okay, like, whatever," but they say that with every kid you have, these after labor contractions get worse and worse, so when your baby's latching and you're nursing and you start to produce more oxytocin, your uterus is starting to, like, shrink back down because your uterus grows to the size of a watermelon while you're pregnant, and then it has to shrink back down, and part of that shrinking, like, pushes the placenta out, and
That's
it
crazy that
was
it just happens that quick.
Yeah.
it was like a week. It was like a week after I was having, like, every time they nurse, it's crazy. It's like you literally put them on the boob, and then you're like, "Holy fuck." This and it sucks because 'cause you're not going into labor and having your baby. You're just, like, fucking cramping so bad. So I didn't have that with Ellie, and I was not expecting it, and it sucked. But yeah, it's a good thing because it's getting everything out. But yeah, I think by the time everything was, like, said and done, and I will say, like, I think this is another thing in, like, the home birth space or whatever. I don't know how to really navigate the line. It's like going to the hospital is so frowned upon, and but honestly, like, labor and delivery nurses are some of the most amazing human beings on the planet. They're like just have the craziest job, and they're so kind, and they're just great. I loved, loved, loved the nurses that we had. And they were very respectful, like, they could kinda tell that I just didn't want a lot of stuff being done to us, and so they just, like, didn't do it. They just like, "Just wanna mention," and I was like, "No, thank you. No, thank you," whatever all my choices were. And then we just decided to sleep at the hospital. I think it was, like, 2:30 by the time everything was kinda, like, wrapped up and we had something to eat, like, Brett went and got us food, and it was just like, "Okay." I'm like, "I just think I wanna stay here." Fell asleep. And then, yeah, we had breakfast in the morning, and then we just went home, and that was it.
So, back to, like, you
Ooh.
getting to the hospital. So, is the baby still attached to the like, when did you clip the cord?
Oh, yeah. Yes, we cut it when we got to the hospital, so
Because
it
that's
was
what
like
I
an out.
can't picture, like,
Wait, what?
the
I thought you would have cut it at the
the cord's
keep
Yeah.
going.
attached to the baby, and you're, like, holding the baby, and you're just, like, waddling out to the
I
car,
w
and
just
there's,
had
like,
my house coat on and, like, sat in got in a wheelchair at the hospital and just rode in. I'm like, "Hello." They're like, "Hi."
because you kinda
We
wanna
just
keep
had
it
a baby.
attached for a bit, there's, like, benefit to that, isn't there, or
Yeah,
something?
there's lots of benefits to, like, delayed cord clamping. I wanted at least an hour. I think we ended up getting, like, 2, so that was great, and Brett actually got to cut the cord this time, which was really cool. He didn't get to even cut the cord with Ellie. They just, like, yanked her off, cut the cord, and took her. So that was, like, really awesome. And then yeah.
I didn't know there was benefits to keeping them on it longer. Because I feel
Yeah,
like
they
same
because
thing
you
in, like,
can
movies and shows, it's like, "Boof, cut, here's the
yeah, and
baby."
Well, it's kind of
it's
like
now
a
just
woo-woo.
it's
Not woo-woo, but
well, it's
yeah.
getting pushed into Western medicine, like, they won't cut the cord right away, even in hospitals, but, like, when Ellie was born, it wasn't even much of a thing, but now it is, and even, like, skin to skin, like, they used to bath your baby within 6 hours of you having them at the hospital, and now they, like, wait 48 hours, like, there's actually quite a bit that's, like, kinda coming through now finally that, like, people have known for years, but
That's
hospitals are
good.
starting to kinda take into account. So yeah, it was overall, I was, like, talking to Lacey too the next day. She's like, "Wow, you literally got the best of both worlds," because it was nice, like, at the hospital, the nurses, like, cleaned me all up and, like, just took I don't know, it feels nice to just get taken care of like that, and, like, being at
Mhm.
home would have been great to, like, stay at home for sure, but I also got, like, a full blood work panel. The next day, the lady comes in, she's like, "I'm here for the blood work." I'm like, "For who?" She's like, "For you." I was like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, "Can I see what's on this requisition?" I'm like, "Ooh, I would love to know, like, my iron." It was like a full panel. So that was great. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
You got to leave your
So
house one
crazy.
last time before you had to stay home for 2 weeks too. It's like
Yeah.
one little
Yeah.
last outing. That's
Yeah, and, like, I
crazy.
was actually shocked, like, the breakfast in the morning was this really hearty oatmeal with, like, all these, like, seeds in it, and then, like, a homemade blueberry oatmeal muffin with, like, a bunch of butter on the side,
Oh
a
my god,
hard-boiled
yum.
egg, hard-boiled egg and, like, a big piece of marbled cheese. I was like, "This is actually such a good breakfast, like, what?"
That is actually good.
Yeah, it was, like, quite nice, and, like, a nice cup of tea, and then I think, like, a big thing of watermelon, so I was just like, "Oh, this is exactly what I want right now." It was so good, and it just felt like his eating was just night and day compared to Ellie's, the way that he latched and the way that he has, like, been feeding. Since then, my mental health has been night and day, and his sleep has been night and day, so I'm like, "Okay, I don't know if this is just a different baby," but something about that birth experience was pretty cool
And just
too.
after too, like,
Yeah.
it just my brain it's just I wish there was a way to 100% know, like, did it go the way it went because of all the things you did, you know what I mean? And there's obviously a component to it, there's no getting around that, but it's just crazy even comparing that to Ellie and where you were at when you had Ellie, how the birth went with Ellie. It's just can't really
No, I
say
think
that
if there's, like,
all the work you did
anything.
had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think if there's anything that you take away, it's like nothing is fucking random and nothing is normal, and I think
Yeah.
it's like 100% because of how I mean, the really fast part, I'm like, I don't know, like, because Marina had almost a similar story with Maddox, like, she almost had him in
Yeah.
the elevator at the hospital because he came so quick. So there's, like, components to that, but it's just, like, even how he was, like, such a good eater right away and, like,
Mhm.
and it's, like, probably because he was birthed into a freaking red circadian
Yeah.
home at the right time at night, you know what I mean? Like, there's just
Yeah.
so much that actually makes so much sense if you think about it, that it's like, well, duh, where that's, like, most yeah, I don't know. I don't wanna say too much, but
Yeah, and, like, I think too everyone's story is, like, different and experience is different, but it's like, if there is something to be said about that, it's like, it'd be nice if we had the information and we knew that, like, having a physiological birth and a calm birth environment is gonna set you up if that is actually what is making this an easy baby, I'm like, "Can we all have that?"
well, and I don't
Please.
even think it's just that alone. It's like
No.
everything focusing so much on your minerals, you just having like be
Yeah,
so in tune with your circadian rhythm throughout the whole entire
Yeah.
pregnancy and pre-pregnancy. You know what I mean?
and
It's just
eating
like
and, like
the eat like it's everything, I think,
Yeah.
because it's hard. I even think when you're pregnant, it's you almost kind of went like you were probably healthier prior to getting pregnant. And then it's like in pregnancy, you don't really have too much control over what you're going to
Yeah.
eat or what you want or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think it's like even more focusing on the work
Pre
prior to kind of
Yeah.
set your
preconception.
foundation up for that. And I just think it's like silly not to have that belief. You know what I mean? Because what
Yeah.
else is
Yeah,
going to encourage you to, like, prioritize yourself first if you, like, really believe it has absolutely nothing to do, and
it's not gonna make it worse.
it's not gonna make it worse, there's no way,
Yeah.
and just, like, the more that we learn about everything, I'm just like, yeah, I don't think any of thing is random, and
No,
Interested
that's
to
so
see what your
true.
minerals will be
I
like
know,
when you
same.
I know.
retest.
I'm nervous. I gotta finish my Vicon. I really put a pause on that at the end because I just could not take it.
Get
Well,
that
you
So
said
down.
I'm gonna.
something, I think, even when we were FaceTiming that you really noticed a difference when you, like or maybe you said it on your story that when you, like, focus on your potassium in the day and you got your, like, potassium in, that you felt better
My
or what?
sleep was better, way better, and like my anxiety went down.
Which is just, like, something,
Just
again, so normalized in that last month, 2-month
yeah,
pregnancy is insomnia. "Oh, everyone gets insomnia," and I'm like, "Does that really make sense from an evolution perspective that humans, the last month before you're gonna do this insane thing and bring a child into the world, that your body would want to have insomnia?" Like, to me, that doesn't really make sense.
The
So
one thing
it's
I'll say is, like, the discomfort of having a fucking large thing on you, I think that physiologically does make sense that your sleep's gonna be
oh, yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
as
that's
good.
true. But like I have the best pregnancy pillow. Like I'm so
Yeah,
comfy, and by the time I get into my bed, I'm just like, oh yeah. But
that's very true.
still, my potassium did make a difference, which is so
Yeah.
weird.
That is so
And
cool.
I think
Yeah.
insomnia, like, is different than just being uncomfortable and not being able to sleep. I think the feelings are
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually never had insomnia, so I don't actually know,
Oh
but
gosh. But it
Yeah, I've
is
never had,
like
like, the 4 AM.
It's wild to
I mean,
just
I
have a
guess.
huge
Yeah,
stomach out of nowhere, like, you're just like,
I
oh,
know, that's great. So how are you
yeah.
feeling? It's been what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's exactly 2 weeks today, and it's been good. I've had to I mean, I maybe with if I have another baby, I will have better boundaries, but I've been trying to not do so much shit. That's the hardest part, I think, is to, like, get right back into everything and, like, even, like, taking Ellie to dance. I'm like, "I should take her today," and it's, like, a huge flight of stairs. I'm like, "I do not need to be going. Like, I shouldn't go." So just trying to, like, actually allow people to help me or, like, say no if I don't want a bunch of people coming over has been hard, but at the same time, like, you want them around, and so but
Mhm.
I definitely think I need to kind of just go through, like yeah, like that person that asked me the other day, like, "How do you feel about yourself that you just, like, did that? Like, tell me everything." And I was like, I don't know. I haven't quite gone there yet." So I think I need to kinda do a little reflection on all of that and just sort of but it was just, like, so every couple days, me and Brett just look at each other, we're like, "How do we just
Yeah,
do
I
that?"
just can't. It's so wild, but I just wonder too if there's any part. I mean, obviously you have a baby now, so that's like you're not quite in the honestly, what I'm thinking of is, like, after you even, like, prep, you finish a prep and you almost have those prep blues, like a bodybuilding prep, because it's like that was your whole focus for so long, and then the show happens, then boom, it's over, and you're like, "Wait, what?" So it's like you just spent the last 4 years, like, preparing for this moment, then you have but now you have a baby, so it's like you're not really like, "Oh, what am I gonna do now with my life?" It's like, well, you're gonna take care of your child, I hope
Yeah.
so.
There
But I
is that
wonder.
aspect, though. You're
Yeah,
just like,
Yeah.
baby
and then all of
blues,
a
it's probably
sudden,
we called it the
my
prep
s
blues.
you're like, I'll my stomach's just gone. I'm like even, like, I watch reels of pregnant people and I, like, get sad. I'm like, "Oh, being pregnant." I'm like, you hated it. You hate it so much. Like, you love it and you hate it, and then when you're not pregnant anymore, you just want it again. It's so fucking weird.
Really?
Yeah, like, already, I'm like, "Oh, we're having another kid for sure."
It's that
Brett's like, "Ah."
oxytocin.
But I
Yeah.
think too, like, Brett was really, like, a little nervous and, like, hesitant, and, a lot of people were asking him, like, "Kira's gonna have this baby at home. Like, what are you guys like, no, 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 no." People are really afraid of it, and he's like, we're never doing it any other way again if we have another one." He's like, "That was incredible."
Wow.
And, like, to do it that way, I think that's part of the reason that I'm, like, struggling to, like, have this big, like, realization moment or whatever is it felt so natural and normal. It didn't feel like this crazy day, this huge fucking thing happened. It was just like we just did it and then it was just a moment in time. It wasn't this like huge big deal. It just like
Dramatic,
my
yeah.
yes, wasn't this dramatic thing. My body just did it and here we are, which is
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
and yeah, it's crazy. Do you think with where you were at mentally and, like, physically last time you would have been able to, like, with Ellie, like, the not even the outcome would have been the same, or, like, what do you think that would have been like if you were, like, the exact same person, but you were like, "I wanna do a home birth." Do you know what I'm trying to ask?
I don't think I had like the conviction and the knowledge and the confidence to do it with Ellie because we kind of talked about it. Like we talked to a doula in the beginning, and she was like, she was a really intense doula. She's like, I only do home births, and I was like, what? It freaked me out. So I just like had to learn that lesson the hard way, which is kind of my life sometimes, but isn't that everyone's? I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
don't definitely
crazy.
don't think I could have done it,
No,
but
because yeah, that version of you just wouldn't even have wanted it probably, or as, like, cared as much or
yeah, or, like, even thought it was possible, like, I was just thought that, like, doctors tell you what to do when you're pregnant and you just do that, and that's what I did, and I did not my soul did not like that. One bit. Does not like being told what to do. But yeah, I'm just like the thing that shocked me the most was how fast it went because like I don't know really except for Marina anyone who's had like like I just didn't and I was funny because like right before for the month leading up I was really looking at a lot of content of people being like how I had my baby in 7 hours and my 6 hour labor and I was like is that a real thing like 6 hours that's freaking fast like But that's all I was watching, that's all I was, like, looking at and, like, secretly manifesting just, like, freaking 4 hours of labor.
Wow.
I know,
It's
like, when it
crazy.
happens that quick, like, is it like, would you take that? Because I feel like that's what everyone would want, right? Or is it kind of like, do you feel like all of the pain was shoved into those 2 hours that it was so much more intense, or and it's, like, more spread out, more like, I don't know. Is it like, do you feel
I
like that? Like, I wish every birth would be like that, and that's the way to do it?
I think it coulda slowed down a smidge, like a
Yeah.
smidge, just a smidge, but I wouldn't have really I don't know.
And it's
I feel
nice
like a
when things
long
go
labor.
fast because
Yeah.
you're not thinking, you're not overthinking, you're not
No, didn't have time to
you're
I
just
don't even
going
know where my
back.
phone was. My Aura ring wasn't freaking charged. I didn't get to play the playlists that I spent hours creating. I didn't get to light my can I literally was just like hands and knees, push, baby.
Wow.
That's so
Fucking
Well,
crazy.
everyone had their candles lit for you, and we were all curious about what
Yeah.
we should do overnight
Oh, I
so
was
our house
freaking
didn't burn down.
sitting stressed in bed because Kira didn't update anyone until the next morning, which is totally fine. But that's I was literally laying in bed and I'm like, well, they're gonna blow their candles out and is that bad luck? Like then the baby's not something's bad's gonna happen to the baby. And I'm like stressing out.
I
It's like 10
know.
o'clock at night. Little do I know he's already freaking here.
I
And
probably blew my note, right around when you had him, because
So
when did
many
you have
people
him?
did.
Weird.
9:15. Yeah, so many people are like,
And I
"Oh,
probably
I."
blew it out. Yeah, that's
which
crazy.
is probably why
So
he's
many
like, well,
people are
frick you guys. Okay, I'm
yeah.
coming.
I know my one friend Gabby was like, "I felt so bad I had to blow my candle out at 9:30." I was like, "Oh, he was already here." She's like, "What?" Oh my god. But I kinda just forgot that I had to, like, update you. Yeah, and then Marina was like, "Should I update the group chat for the candle?" I was like, "Oh, fuck." I just didn't feel like talking or doing
No, like,
anything,
that's
but
literally probably the last thing on your mind, but it was not the last thing on my mind. I was sitting awake in bed
well,
being
and, like, we had to
stressed out.
call Marina to come and stay with Ellie because, like, we like a bunch of idiots, we didn't send her over there, so she had to come stay with Ellie while we went to the hospital, and Brett calls her, and I just hear him on the phone, and I'm, like, sitting with Jake in the bed, like, just loving life, and he's like, "Hi, Marina. Can you come over and lay with Ellie?" "Yeah, we're going to the hospital." "Okay."
Oh
I'm
my
like, "Brett, tell her everything is fine." Like, she thinks someone's dead. Like, oh my god. It's like, "Oh," he's like, "Everyone's fine. The baby's here. We're just going to the hospital for whatever." Where, like, poor Marina was probably just like, "Oh my god, what's
"Can you
going
come lay
on?"
with Ellie? We're going to the hospital."
Yeah.
Marina's like,
I'm like,
"Okay."
Brett, tell her everything is fine." He's like, "Oh, yeah, it's fine."
Such a guy thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's not even, like, that much of a story because it's just
Oh, it's still a
No, it's a
story.
story.
oh,
It's still a story. It's still a story. We're still processing. No, but that's crazy, and I'm just so I mean, I also knew that everything was gonna go perfect and
I
exactly
did keep thinking about when you said, "This is your hero arc." Remember when you said that to me, like, a week before?
mhm.
You're like, "It's gonna be fine. This is you're in your hero arc," or whatever you said, and I was just like, "Fuck yeah, I am. This is my."
Well, it's
It's
true
gonna
because
be
that's what
fine.
I thought. I'm like, "No, no, no, this is not how, like, stories work." Like, you've already done your part of it, and now you're on the up and the out, so I knew that it was gonna go perfect, but you definitely had both me and Jensen a little bit in our head with your whole positioning thing and stuff, but I
Yeah.
just even what you said at the beginning, like, about fear versus, like, intuition, I'm like, that's
Mhm.
I just knew. I was like, "I just know everything is
Yeah.
gonna be totally fine." I was like, "There's just no way," but in my head, I'm like, "Well, maybe you should just call a GP in Edmonton and see if they'll give you an X just to give you the peace of mind."
Well, and
But
it's
did you
funny
ever
because
do
I
that?
twice in my pregnancy, I reached out to the midwives that I had signed up with and been on their wait list and got in, and both times they missed my email and never got back to me, and I was like, "Okay, that's a sign."
Did they reach out after being like, "Oh my god, we missed this?"
No, no. I eventually reached out and said, "Hey, like, I think you must have just missed this email." She's like, "Oh my god." And then we tried to set up a meeting and it didn't work. And then at 34 weeks, I was like, could I just get in for like an ultrasound at this point?" And they never responded. So I was just like, okay,
Oh my god, that
I'm
pisses
not
me
allowed.
off.
No, but that was just a little test for
So
you.
anyway, I don't know if we're going to ever post this or not.
We're gonna let
We'll
Kira digest
see.
it for 2 days and give us the green flag to edit it and post it, but I think that was perfect.
Okay.
So
I'm scared.
I don't think you like overshared, or I think it was perfect. And like, I've listened to like lots of like my friends' birth story and stuff when they post it. And I mean, I have probably, I wouldn't really say more people, but just like in the social media space. And I thought yours was perfect. I don't think it was like too much.
I've
Okay.
never listened
Yeah.
to a birth story. This is my first one because I've never wanted to because they scare
They're the
me, but
they're the best. Oh, it's like my favorite. And then like everyone's is so different and just like why it's always just fucking wild and like, oh, they're the best. They're my favorite.
really?
Yes, I love listening to them. It's so
I
cool.
know a lot of people do. I'm like, is this gonna like scare the shit out of me and I'm never gonna want to have a baby? So when I'm pregnant, I'm always like, I'll start then so then I can start preparing myself. But
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. And now he's here, Jake Douglas.
So
He
cute.
was 7 pounds, 10 ounces. He was 19 inches long. He's
happy
friggin'
and healthy.
perfect. Happy and healthy. And he's the chillest human ever. I just am so pumped about it so far. I'm like, am I going to jinx it? Is this just how newborns all are? Like, he's so chill.
Have you noticed Ellie's like demeanor change at all, or she's just eating it up?
She loves him. Like, she just wants to kiss him and hug him. But, like, us three are kind of struggling with our, like, dynamic because we're like, Ellie, no, Ellie, don't touch that. Ellie, be quiet. Ellie, like, we're probably just fucking driving her nuts. Like, she's like, shut up. So she's been like acting out to us a little bit, but nothing. She's been great with him. But like I was in the shower the other day and she came up. I was like, no, buddy, like mommy needs to shower alone for a little while. Like I don't want to like slip and like rip. I don't know. I'm just pretty sore still. And she's like, I never get to do anything with you. And like slam the bathroom door. And I'm like, I know, I miss you so much. But, like, I slept with her until the night before I had him, like, she's 4, we've slept together every night since she was born, basically, and I'm just like, "Bye, now I'm gonna sleep with your brother, and you're
And you're on your own.
on your own," and it's just a little bit sad, like, but she seems okay, I guess, I don't know. She's definitely more emotional than she has been, but she's also an emotional woman, so we're just riding the waves.
Independent woman, Ellie.
We're trying to keep that blood sugar balanced and sleep happening and just letting
Is she
everything
like sleeping
else.
okay by herself out of nowhere?
She's sleeping with Brett.
Oh.
And then she said, I like sleeping with Dad. He's way warmer than you. I was like, okay. So funny.
So cute.
But
Okay,
yeah,
well, you
give
heard
me
it
a
here
couple
first,
years to
folks.
I
You
know.
liked the episode.
Yeah. Either this is gonna be lots of people listen or no one listens to this episode.
I think a lot of people will because I think everyone is just curious, and obviously it's not the normal way to do things. So I think it'll get a lot of people,
Yeah.
but
If you
maybe
have
no
any
one, who knows.
questions.
We'll be able to tell though, you guys, so
Yeah. We see those views and those retention rates, so you better listen to the end. You better still be here.
Well, yeah, I think we should just wrap it up there.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for listening, you guys. And if you have any questions, should they ask or should they not ask? Okay, feel free to reach out to
No, I
Kira.
love talking about it.
You heard it here. She loves talking about it. And yeah, like, subscribe, hit the little bell on your YouTube video thing, and we'll see you next
Have a great
week.
day.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in to The Wellness Effect. We're so grateful to be part of your wellness journey. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on Instagram. We'll put all of our handles in the show notes. If you have questions or ideas, slide into our DMs or send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep creating your own wellness effect.